Darvin, not a typical night efficiency-wise from LeBron and AD. I just wondered if you saw anything in some of the shots they were missing and how that built as the second half went on.
Yeah, we missed some pretty good looks. First of all, respect to them. They did what they were supposed to do, take care of their home floor, held serve. And now it's on us to fill our cups back up and go do what we need to do on our home floor, starting with Game 3. That's all we need to be concerned about is Game 3. In terms of the efficiency, we were aggressive, came out a whole lot better than we did in Game 1. Again, the increments in which we're improving as this series goes on, albeit it's only been 2 games. We did a lot of good things out there tonight. We had some lows that they were able to take advantage of. Did a great job defensively in that first half, majority of the third, and then, kind of got out of rhythm offensively, and they caught fire, and that combination usually leads to your demise. But, proud of our guys. They bounced back. We addressed a lot of things that we said we were going to try to do better. Still got to be better in transition D. But overall, the energy was there, the effort was there, the urgency was there. We just caught a bad stretch.
You mentioned the shooting. Denver was 7 for 25 from 3, but getting good looks in the first 3 quarters. They hit those 5 straight. What's the philosophy in trying to deal with the ball screens there and still think about Jokic?
Can't relax off the ball. They're one of the better off-ball offensive teams in the league, and you cannot relax. They set those back screens, and they're slipping out. And Jokic is giving the handbacks or Green or whoever, Gordon. We just can't relax off the ball. They draw a lot of attention in the half court, and then, they had some other guys step up as well in terms of Michael Porter Jr. So it's Bruce Brown. It's just got to be, again, tighten the screws, continue to extract what we can from these games to help us be in a position to take care of business once we get home in Game 3.
Darvin, 2-part question. One, you changed the starting group, put Vando in for Dennis. I guess that was the normal starting group you guys have been going with, but how'd you decide on that? And then second thing was kind of changing the matchups down the stretch where you put LeBron on Jokic, Rui on Jamal, so you could kind of switch their 2-man action. Just that decision as well.
Yeah, just starting Vando, just, inserting some energy and some size and athleticism into the lineup. And then, as you mentioned, that was our starting lineup for the remainder of the regular season, and the only time it wasn't our starting lineup was Game 6 against Golden State, so and Game 1 here, and so getting him back out there, allowing him to putting a bigger body on Murray, I thought it was effective. And as far as just running different guys at Jokic, we're gonna have to guard him by committee. AD does the best job he could possibly do in a one-on-one. But again, even when A is guarding him straight up, our guys off the ball have to have their antennas up, be in a position to help, and then close out effectively, not being undisciplined with their closeouts. But again, your Joker is just one of those guys. You got to change matchups. You got to change coverages. And I won't get into any details about what we plan to do going forward, but that's just the way it is. And in general terms, like he's going to make you work. He's going to make you go on your bag of tricks and try to slow him down.
Darvin, with LeBron spending so many possessions guarding Jokic, do you think that had anything to do with his shot selection in the fourth quarter, taking threes early on in the quarter versus driving? I
just thought he was trying to make a play for his teammates. He was open. They're playing off of him. He's a highly capable three-point shooter. He let it fly. With our team overall just wanting us to continuously play downhill. That's something I really, really want to harp on. I think we, went from 16 to 10 free throws in the second half. Like we have to continuously play with aggression. And again, like I always say, love and live in the paint. And that'll allow some of those three-point attempts to be that much more open and that much more in rhythm.
Darvin, along those lines, do you think fatigue factored at all into your team's lack of a downhill sort of attack in the fourth?
I mean, they do a great job shifting on their side. They have a bunch of athletes. Just have to make quick plays. They have to be quick decisions. Whenever you probe too long or you hold the ball too long, it strengthens their defense. You know, they have long, athletic wings, and obviously Joker is long. Green, Gordon, those guys are super duper athletic. Hell, MPJ, Mike Porter Jr., he's 6'11", so we have to just play offense with a pace, both in the full court and the half court.
This team's talked a lot about basketball IQ, particularly after the trade deadline. But two mistakes stand out. There was LeBron in transition, kind of going for a reverse and fumbling the ball pretty uncharacteristically, and Dennis's three-point attempt at the end of the third that got blocked and triggered. Do those plays kind of signify like a need for this team to tighten up, and maybe a little bit mentally?
I mean, you go through the course of a basketball game and you have unfortunate plays that happen. I'm sure they can pick out some from their side. So it's just, you have to just have things happening during the course of an NBA game, especially a hotly contested one such as the Western Conference Finals, in particular these two teams. And so you just got to have a short memory in terms of when a mistake happens or a miscue or something like that, you got to move on. We've been preaching that since day one, have a next play mentality. And can't, even if you make a shot, you can't stand there, taking a picture with your follow through. You have to sprint back and get ready to play the next possession on defense. So I just chalk it up that I don't see that as being a reflection of our IQ. It's just, unfortunate circumstance on those couple of plays.
Darvin, what did you see in the middle of that fourth quarter when they were hitting the threes? Were you guys relaxing? What was going on that you saw there?
I mean, we had a situation where we were kind of cross-matched, and again, they're the best offense in the league. So it's like they're going to put pressure on you to guard them, ball in hand or off the ball. And again, we'll go back and look at our off-ball defense. You start out, you're shifted against your Joker, you're shifted off of Murray. You're trying to take away their back doors, but they also have the capability to sprint uphill, to get behind the three-point line and launch. And so you have to be ready to guard a little bit of everything. And that's what happens when you're dealing with a championship caliber ball club. It's like you got to, it's no one thing that you're going to be able to take away and it's going to shut them down. There are multiple ways to beat you, multiple actions, multiple players that can just get hot, as we just saw. And so our thing is to not get disappointed, not get discouraged, just continue to compete at a high level. And if they make a shot hotly contested, then we have to live with it and go back and try to do the same.
Darvin, two of your role players, Austin and Rui, seem to have really good games for you. What did you make of how they played for you guys?
Just told them to come out, be assertive, be aggressive. Don't think twice. When we play with pace and we make quick decisions, we're a damn good ball club offensively. Whenever there's going to be times we have to slow down and try to punch it into the paint. But for the most part, when the ball is moving, changing hands, I just think, we put ourselves in a good position to win. I mean, we had 5 players in double figures. So, that's a telltale sign. 26 assists, we can get that up a little bit higher, but that's not bad either. Only made 8 threes. So, again, we just have to continue to chip at the rock, try to do a better job of taking care of the ball in certain moments, and continuously get better.
Darvin, you guys haven't lost 2 in a row, I don't think, since maybe mid-March, and you've taken control of every series by stealing 1 on the road. What's the psyche of the team right now, just in the immediate aftermath?
Well, they're like us. They're undefeated at home. We knew it was going to be a challenge, a hard one at that. And we said it before we even played one game. We got to, buckle in and buckle up, buckle down and buckle up, because this is going to be we plan for this to be a long series. And so, again, hats off to them. They held serve on their home floor, and the more higher the levels you get to, you're going to face much tougher teams. No disrespect to Memphis or Golden State, but this team has been at the top of the food chain for a reason, not just this year, but the last few years. So we definitely got our work cut out for us, but we're going to get better from this, as we always do, and we'll bounce back on our home floor.
Coach, what happened to LeBron toward the end of the game, and is there any reason for concern for him physically going into the next game?
Really speak on it right now. He's been being evaluated, so we'll see. it'd be hard to keep them out of this mix, though.
And after the Game 1 loss, you were relatively upbeat. In fact, your last words were, "We'll be all right, trust me." After tonight, you still the same optimism?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I've been in a lot of these wars, man, both as a player and a coach, and I'm not going to get discouraged, you know what I mean? And you just got to, again, they took care of business on their home floor, and we have to go do the same. But it doesn't matter where you win, because if we'd have won one here, they'd be coming to try to get Game 3. So we just got to be prepared to do the same as they just did and protect our home court.
Just want to ask you about the kind of going for offensive rebounds versus getting back in transition, what the balance is there for guys like Vando or AD with, how much Denver can hurt you going up down the court.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a rule, like if you're in a certain space on the floor on the weak side, then you have permission to crash as hard as you can. But if you're up top above the break, I mean, you got to sprint back on shot, not when the ball hits the rim, not when it lands or if someone catches it. As soon as you see your teammate, the ball leave his hands, you got to be back. And so that's one of the things that we'll try to be better at come Game 3.
Austin, what do you think the physical challenge has been these two games where last game you talked about the energy and effort early and not being there. It seemed like it was there tonight. Where did you feel like that, how the second half ended up making a difference? It wasn't energy, but what was it about? Yeah, what was it about Denver in that second half then?
Of tonight or last game? I mean, I think there was four possessions in a row where they hit 4 threes. A couple of them were really contested, and I think a couple of them were kind of defensive breakdowns. But tip your hat. They made shots when they needed to.
What's the defensive difficulty, I suppose, of trying to make sure you're staying with Jokic as a team and then also get out to the ball screens and limit what the threes are? How do you guys play that?
Yeah, I mean, Jokic, like I said last night, or 2 nights ago, he's so good at making everybody around him, up to their potential. He gets the max out of every player he has just by the way he demands everybody's focus, the way he can pass the ball. I mean, I thought for the most part we defended well, besides, a couple of those possessions where they got a couple threes. But like I said, tip your hat off and move on.
Austin, did it feel like there was an opportunity, or that maybe there were points left on the court in the first quarter when defensively you guys had them pretty locked up, you guys were getting to the line, but I think still only up 5 at halftime after having some opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, it's the game. I'm sure you could go ask the same question to their guys, and they say the same thing. Yeah, there's always things that you could do better to build on a lead or sustain a lead. But we competed tonight, and like I said, there's a couple breakdowns. But yeah, no, there's always in every game, situations where you look back and think, if we did this instead of this, we could have had a 6-point lead or an 8-point lead. But it's just the nature of all sports; those things happen.
Austin, Coach was saying that the challenge now is not to get down. From a mental and emotional standpoint, what is the challenge for you guys there?
Yeah, don't get down. I mean, Denver's the 1 seed for a reason. They, they're a really good basketball team, and quote unquote, they did what they were supposed to do here. Obviously, we don't love that. We wish we could have got 1, 2, whatever. But it's time for us to, lock in on Game 3, see what we did in this game, last game that worked, didn't work, areas that we could get better, watch film, and just move on. You can't, I wish you could win them all, but it's not the nature of any sport.
Austin, you guys don't get here without LeBron and AD. How do you, as a group, kind of process them both struggling from the field down the stretch in the same game?
like you said, who knows where we would be without them. Yeah, you could look at the stat sheet and look at the fourth quarter and be like, Bron missed the layup when he got the steal or had some turnovers, same for AD. But I guarantee you, if you ask any coach in any basketball, if you wanted those two on their team, they'd take them in a heartbeat. So it's basketball. It's all sports. You have good days, you have not so good days, and you wake up the next morning and have a great day.
Austin, what do you think of the job that LeBron did on Jokic and just kind of that adjustment of throwing kind of another body after obviously the Rui adjustment got a lot of attention last game?
I think Bron was really effective guarding him just because of, I think, his IQ helped because he was very handsy got a couple deflections on a couple passes that, led into transition. Yeah, I mean, he did good, and, we'll look and see if do that a little more or whatever.
Austin, after a loss like this one, it was too close, and the recovery has to be fast because the next game is in 2 days. Do you do something special just to recover for the next game, to think for something new, and to forget about a loss like this one?
Yeah, I mean, if I had time to go golf, I'd go golf. I'll probably play the game tonight. Obviously, stay on top of, hydration, all the recovery stuff we can do. Our medical staff is great. Connect with them on, what you can just do to, prepare yourself, get better for the next game. But, yeah, I mean, everybody needs a little mental getaway, because we do this so much. But at the end of the day, you're always still locked on, the next challenge, the next game. So, yeah, I mean, obviously sucks we lost, but things you can learn from this.
Austin, LeBron, obviously 0 for 10 from 3 over the first 2 games of the series. Does that give you guys confidence, just kind of knowing that there's probably a good chance he's not going to have that stretch again in these playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, he can shoot all he wants. It's LeBron James. I don't think anybody bats an eye when he shoots a shot or questions a shot. So, yeah, we want him taking, whatever he feels comfortable with, just because, he's a winning basketball player, for his whole career, and that's all he wants to do. He wants to win. Yep.
Rui, just individually, what have you noticed about this matchup for you in the spots that you're able to get to have the kind of efficiency you're having on offense?
I just trying to be aggressive in both hands, and especially they're big, so I think for this series, the coach has been telling me, it's going to be a big series for me, so I just I was ready for this, and yeah, but we lost this game too. It was a tough one for sure. Yeah.
You held them to 108 points, but obviously they have that huge run in the fourth quarter with the 5 straight threes. What are you noticing about their offense and you guys trying to keep Jokic down and then them getting threes on the other side?
Yeah, they made tough shots. It was I think we did a pretty good job on the Jokic and guarding the shooters, but they just shoot over us. I just say they're big, so they can just shoot over us. So just gotta we just gotta play harder. I think and that's gonna be a key.
Rui, what do you think of the job that LeBron did on Jokic for a lot of the third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think it was good. He was trying to give him the ball. He was in the front and then he couldn't even get the ball. So I think it was good. During the game, me and him talk about it. We're gonna switch the matchup, and yeah, I think he worked out.
Rui, I know you guys are undefeated at home and confident heading back for Game 3, but do you feel like tonight there was a little bit of a missed opportunity given up by 11 multiple times, especially in that third quarter there before they went on the little bit of a run?
Yeah, it's just they made a tough shots, especially it was their home, so they did what they're supposed to do. So Now we're going home and we got 2 games, so we just got to take care of the business. We just got to win those games and we got to tie the series.
どうもお疲れ様です。今日まず8本連続ずっとミスなしでシュートを決めた好スタートだったことと、あともう一つディフェンスで重要な役割を任されるということについてはどのように思っていらっしゃるかと2つお願いいたします。すみません。
そうですね。チームとしても僕としてもいい感じに入れたんですけど、最後のセカンドハーフで、タフショットをすごい決められたので、そういうところで僕らのディフェンスが崩れたところもあったんですけど、試合全体的には良かったんじゃないかなと思うので、またフィルム見直して次のホームゲーム頑張りたいなと思います。
お疲れ様です。準決勝に比べてですね、非常に、より何ですかね、役割が大きくなっているというか、ご自身の出来によってチームの本当に勝ち負けに直結しているような感じもするんですけど、その辺の、責任感というんですかね、そういうのもどう感じてますか。
チームからもこのシリーズは僕にとって大きくなると言われてたので、僕はそういう気持ちで準備してやってきました。
お疲れ様です。試合前に ESPN の中継インタビューに答えられていて、ハーフタイムでもインタビュー答えてましたけど、これアメリカメディアも注目してるんですけど、八村選手の活躍を、この注目をどう感じてますか。
そうですね。こうやって、今レイカーズでやっていることで、レイカーズっていうのはNBA でも一番大きいチームだと思うので、そういう中でこうやってプレーしていることがそういうことにつながってるんじゃないかなと思うので、これからも頑張っていきたいなと思います。
LeBron, just quickly, was that the ankle that you caught late, and how's it feeling?
Yeah, I think I stepped on somebody's foot. I think it was maybe Aaron Gordon or one of the guys up underneath the basket, but I'll be fine.
And LeBron, what did you feel like when Denver was hitting those 5 straight threes? Like, what's the differences in your coverages and what you're trying to do battling Jokic and not letting them get in there versus what you're giving up on the outside?
Only one of them was uncontested. All of them was just great contests. 2 of Maul's threes was right in the face of me and AD. And Michael Porter Jr. one by our bench was right in the face of AR after a transition. They was winning transition. Bruce Brown had one as well with a contest. That was it. The 3-point line is what killed us in the fourth, but I didn't see many breakdowns though.
AD, did they do anything different defensively tonight against you than in Game 1? And what do you think it'll take to bounce back in Game 3?
No. I got the same looks. A lot of them were just short tonight. So I'll be better.
Not that it's an excuse, but you guys exerted so much energy early, both of you defensively on Nikola Jokic. Did you feel like legs or fatigue factored at all late?
No. I mean, if you're not tired in the postseason, then everybody's tired.
LeBron, obviously there's 2 teams playing here. You guys playing on one team in the West, and Jamal Murray had a remarkable performance, particularly in the fourth quarter. Just what did you see out of him, and what type of rhythm was he able to find against your guys' defense?
I mean, he made shots. He made shots at the end of the clock when we guarded for 24 seconds. He made 2 big-time shots, one over AD, one over myself. Had some mid-range game going, but he had his 3-point shot going in the fourth. It's no surprise to anybody who's done it before. Hate to be on the other side of it, but like I said, I don't feel like we had many breakdowns when he was doing what he was doing. He made shots, and sometimes it's just a make or miss league. I feel like defensively we were really good. I mean, they shot 43% for the number 1 offense in the league. So it just sucks that them 5 threes in the fourth definitely killed us.
What would you guys make of the starting lineup adjustment, going back to the starting lineup you guys have been using for most of the second half of the season, and just kind of playing bigger lineups in general tonight?
I really don't. It doesn't matter at this point who starts, who comes off the bench. It's just about how we can get it done and win a game. That's all that matters.
LeBron, they haven't lost a game at home in the postseason. Neither of you guys. When you include the play-in, I think you won the last 7. Does that give you guys any more? Is that a benefit for you guys going home knowing you haven't lost a game?
No, I mean, we still got to play with the same desperation as we did tonight. I mean, we came out with an L, but doesn't give us any more comfort. You can't go into any postseason game with comfort just because you either haven't lost at home or you're going back home. I think it's even more you got to be on edge because when you go home, you're getting your own bed, you're around your family, everybody's being cool and jolly and everything. Nah, you got to be even more on edge when you get home. So, we got to understand that going back and being down 0-2, there's no reason for us to get comfortable.
Bron, after these two games, what do you think do you need to improve and keep doing now that you are going home?
I think we improved from game 1 to game 2. And if we can do the same thing from game 2 to game 3, we'll put ourselves in a position to win.
Bron, you've been in this position before, and 3 times you've won. From a mental, emotional standpoint, what do you take out of that can be applied, if anything?
I mean, what do you take out of it is the fact that this is not the NCAA tournament. It's the first team to 4 wins. And we have an opportunity to go home and play great basketball and home serve. Until the team beats you 4 times, then you always have an opportunity to come out of it. That's the confidence that we should have. And I know it's going to be a tough hill to climb up, but we still have an opportunity to play good basketball and play the best basketball of the series in game 3. And like I said, if we can get better from game 2 like we did tonight to game 3, then we put ourselves in a position to do that.
Eddie, you made the 1-3, and then you had the 2 other looks there. What did you think about those shots that you got down the stretch, and just overall, you're coming off 40, your efficiency wasn't there the way it was in game 1?
I like both of the looks. Made the first, second one was back rim, and the next one in the same exact spot, rims in and out. So liked all the looks that I got today. Just a lot of them was short. Now I'm going to continue to shoot those shots. Like I said, I got to be better, more efficient, help the team win. So I'll be better whatever I think.
LeBron, the dunk in the first half is not a play we often see. The ball squirts out like that. There was another play, I think, in the third where you guys got an offensive rebound and Dennis could have held for one. He shoots. When the margins are so slim, are those the plays that kind of eat at you between now and game 3?
No, I mean, those are, obviously you have an opportunity. I mean, my opportunity puts us up 10. And instead, it was an 8-point, deficit, and a good for us. Obviously that sucks that ball squirted out of my hand like that, whatever the case may be. Maybe hit my knee or whatever, but unforced turnover by myself, horrible, especially on the road. And I mean the same thing at the end of the third. I missed a 3. I believe we were up 5. I missed a 3. Jamal Murray tried to save it, saves it right to AD, and we swing it to AR. And Dennis had a pretty good look, but we had an opportunity to hold and not take the shot with a 5-point lead. And instead, they get the block. Bruce Brown get the block. Joker pushes it, throws it to the right corner away from our bench to KCP. We get a great contest on KCP from AR. And I thought it was a great block by AD, to be completely honest. But they called goal 10, and instead of being up 5, we up 3. So those are momentum plays for sure, both of them.